I am going to be going over how to complete this assignment called my monthly budget. I am going to try to make it as short and sweet as possible, so please pause and play the video according to where you're at because I might be going a little bit fast just so this doesn't get too long. So let's jump right in. Like it says here, we are imagining our future self. We are fast forwarding in time. You're now older, 18, 19, 20, and you're going to decide what you want your life to be like and create a budget for that lifestyle. If you don't know, budget is just a fancy word for a list of costs. So, how much you're going to be spending. That is what we will be creating today. So, like it says here, we want to choose where you want to live. And where are we going to write this information? We are going to write it in Google Sheets or Excel Sheets. This is what it looks like. You all have a blank Google Sheet attached to your Google Classroom assignment. You also have an example of a monthly budget. When you open the example, this is what it will look like. So on the left is the example budget. On the right are categories that you're going to need in order to complete this budget. So you don't have to have these things on the right. This is just for me to help you all. All I care about is for you to have something that looks like this list on the left. So let's get started. You are going to start your first Excel sheet here. Excel is organized by columns. These columns are named after a letter, and then they're also organized by rows. So these rows are organized by numbers. Why? Why are they numbered and lettered? Well, that's to help us identify the boxes. If you look here, this box here is on column C, row 3. So we call it C3. This one over here, B6. This one over here, D3. Naming the cells helps us do fancy things with it, which we'll talk about more later. For now, we're going to get our list started. What do I want? The first thing I want in A1 is my item. For B1, I then want a description, which is really just saying describe your item. And then on C1, we want the cost. How much is this item going to cost us? So I'm not going to show you how to edit these because I want these 3 words to be my heading, so I really want them to stand out. In order to edit them at the same time, you're going to click on the box you want to start with, then hold down the Shift key in your keyboard and click the other box, how far you want to highlight. That second box, for example, if I click that box, it's going to highlight all of that. If you want to highlight up to here, then you will write, again, start by clicking on the item, hold down the Shift, and it will highlight all of it. Click on the box, hold down Shift. I really just want you to highlight this cell. That is all I want you to highlight, those 3. Those are what we're going to edit. I want you to make it bold. I want you to make it size 14 so it's nice and big, it stands out. And I also want you to get creative. Click on this little paint box and pick a color. What color do you want your heading to be? I like blue, so I'm going to be blue. You can do whatever you want. But look what happened here. Once I made the font bigger, this box is not big enough for my word. Do not worry. We can make our columns as big or as small as we want. How do we do that? Put your mouse in between these 2, and you'll see a little arrow. If you hold down your mouse, whoops, not like that. If you hold down your mouse and drag this arrow, you can make your column really big. Look at that. B is now this huge, huge column. We really don't need it that big. We maybe need it about here. So go ahead and try that. Pause and do it. Come back when you're ready. And then the last thing we're going to do to format is to freeze this top row. Why in the world do I want to freeze it? Well, look what happens when I scroll down. Boom, we lose our heading. And I never want to lose my heading. I always want to know what my columns are talking about. So Excel has this cool thing called freeze. So let's do it. Click on the row you want to freeze. That would be row 1. Then go to View, the freeze option and click one row. And now look what happens when I scroll down. It's frozen. Row 1 will always be there because I froze it. Now we can start our budget. Let's do it. We are starting with rent. Rent means the amount of money I pay to live in an apartment, or I pay for an apartment in, and this is where you decide where are you going to live. I have some people living in Los Angeles. Some people said Los Angeles, some people said New York, whatever you want, put it in here. I'm sticking to San Diego. So, like I wrote in your instructions, once you choose where you live, you want to move on to the next step, which is to use your friend Google to find the cost of other things. Like if you don't know how much rent in San Diego is, you can Google it. Average monthly cost of rent in San Diego. And look at that. Average monthly cost of rent in San Diego is about, ooh, there's a different, let's go with this one. $2,000 to $300. We're going to round a little bit to have pretty numbers. $2,300. And this is where the example is going to be useful. You want to use this to guide you because you're going to need food. You're going to need electricity, water, your phone. So all of these need to be added into your sheet. So go ahead and take the time. If you don't know how much grocery is, you don't know, well, go back to Google. Average monthly cost of groceries in San Diego, and it'll show up. Average cost of electricity, and it'll show up. So all of this information you will find through Google. I'm not going to go through it right now because of time. I'm going to jump straight into the phone. For the phone, I went into T-Mobile. You're going to go into T-Mobile and pick a phone. They tell you here how much you pay per month. We want the monthly cost, not the full price. The monthly, since our budget is per month. So pick what phone you like. And if you want the iPhone, round it. We say $34. If you want something cheaper, you want an Android for $7. There's even a flip phone somewhere around here. I know the flip phone's like $4. So take the time. I actually added the link to this T-Mobile site here below. So T-Mobile phones and T-Mobile plans. Once you decide, add it to your budget. Then you have to pay your phone bill. You could have a phone, but if you don't have a phone line, it won't work. So I also added the phone plans here down below. And this is what that link will open. It will open your 3 options for phone lines in T-Mobile. Pick. Do you want premium data? Do you want just the basics? This is just the basics. If you want a little bit more, or if you want unlimited everything, then it's the 47. So up to you. It's your life. So take a pick and add it to your budget. As you see, I added 47 here. So again, take the time. Internet. I added the internet cost here for you. If you want average internet, it's 50. If you want video game internet, 80. If you want fastest internet, 100. Choose and add it. If you want cable, choose average cable or premium channels and write that cost. I didn't care for cable, so I put 0. If you don't care for it, you don't need to add it. Then we go into subscriptions. Again, pick which ones you want, add it up, and add it to your budget. Entertainment. So this is where you can get a little bit where I guess the number could really change. If you just want to be going to the movies and a couple of parks, and 200 might be a reasonable budget. Some of my students want to be flying every month though, so they looked up flight numbers and they added that to their budget. So again, get creative. Add how much you want to be spending on entertainment. Add it on here. Then we get to our car. Let's not forget we need a car. So I added instructions here on how to figure out a car payment. If you know what car you want specifically, you want to divide that total car cost by the number of months you want to pay it in. So if you want to pay it in 3 years, divide the total by 36. 5 years, divided by 60, divided by 72. And that will tell you how much a car payment is going to cost. If you don't have a specific car in mind, then just put 400. You could copy some of mine if you don't know how much it costs. You can copy the car insurance, for example, about $250, the gas, 100. Car washes, I gave you an option here again. If you want unlimited, here's how much it costs for unlimited car washes. If you want one car wash, here it is. Keep in mind, in apartments, you can't wash your cars. They don't give you hoses, so you would have to pay for a car wash. Health insurance, that's another one. In real life, health insurance is sometimes free based on the job you work. But since we don't know where we're working at, we're going to stick with 500. I took this one out of Google. Again, eating out. Eating out, it's about $20 per meal. So how many times do you want to go out to eat? If you want to eat 10 times a month, then that's times 10. You want to eat 4 times a month, then it's 4 times 20, and add that there. Then you must add laundry. You want to have nice smelling clothes. You also want to add hygiene, so shampoo, cleaning products, your toothpaste, your toothbrush, all of that. Cleaning supplies as well. You want to have a clean home. And now, then you get to the extras, which is this green list we have here. For example, I want to have my nails done, so I added that. But I don't care for a gym, so that's why I put 0. You can pick. Do you want to be going to Starbucks? Do you want to have a haircut every month? Do you want to have braces? Do you want a dog? Do you want to have fancy furniture? Decide all of that and add it to your list. Once you do that, pause so you can do that and come back when you're done. Because the last thing I'm going to show you is how to add it all up, right? So we have everything we want. We need to know how to add it up. So let me erase this so you all see how to do that. In order to add it up, you need to go into this fancy button called Functions. This is where you tell the computer what to do. Right now we want it to add. So we're going to click on Sum. Wait, let me start over here. I'm going to write it right here. This is where. So click the box. Where do you want it? I want it there. I'm going to the Sum button. I want to add. And now we need to tell the computer, what do you want to add? Well, I'm going to start from here. I want this box to be the first thing they add. So remember the name of that box? That box was called C2. C2. So click C2. And then we want it to add all the way to what? Well, let's look at the name of the last box. The last box, this one doesn't really count. I'm going to put this one as my last box. The last box for me is C21. For you, it might be C22 if you added a lot of extras, or you maybe added less than me and you have C19. It all depends on what is the last box you wrote a number in. So for me, it is C21. So now I've told my Excel sheet, add from C2 all the way to C21. And look at that. It even highlighted to me. It's asking me, this is what you want me to highlight? And since it is, I am going to click on Enter. And boom, it did it for me. It has now told me my monthly budget. This is how much I'm going to be spending a month. And that's it. You're done. Click Submit or click Turn In, and you have completed your monthly budget. Let me know if you all have any questions. Email me, add a comment. I'll be happy to help. Good luck. Have fun with it.